Fuel cell technologies have produced the TriFuelCell for the era of expensive fuels. This will supplement fuels and reduce your fuel bill very significantly in diesels and petrol engines. I'm just going to demonstrate very quickly how quickly the fuel cell starts to produce the HHO gas that helps fire up diesel and petrol engines so successfully. So if we put in the fuse, because we've just got the fuse out at the present moment, and we just push it right in, you will see here immediately the reaction. Look at that. You can see the actual reaction of the roiling of the huge amount of gas being produced there. And it gets so dense, all the bubbles from the HHO gas being produced. That's why we've put the blue in, so it makes it very much easier to see. And you can see how it's bubbling along there and it's roiling. If I just sort of raise this slightly, so you can see on the top, you see how it's moving the water around on the top there. Now that gas is filling the top there, and it's on demand immediately, and this is a significant amount of gas, and this is being produced right the way throughout the top of this unit, and it's coming right the way from the bottom. As you can see, there's a lot of gas being produced there, and it's bubbling away quite significantly. See how the water on the top there is roiling around with the amount of gas coming up there. So this is a significant amount that will help fire up your engine. Now, one of these is not really enough. You need probably two or three, depending on the size of the engine and how fast and how much gas you need to help you go along. But in diesels you can expect potentially up to 40% of your diesel cost to be saved, and with regard to petrol you can get anything up to potentially 100% saved. Now what I'd like to sort of emphasize here is that when you have a petrol engine, it's determined by the successful timing that has gone. So you may find in modern engines that the computer management system has got to be remapped. In most situations, if you have a 50-litre tank, you're probably burning 10 litres of the 50 litres. Once you get a fuel cell on, you can boost that up to 20 litres and potentially even more. Some have been saving up to 107%. So this gives you some indication of how successful this system is. Just read the rest of the site here, and it'll give you some indication of how successful this is. Now the whole body of this unit is just full of bubbles now coming right from the bottom there, and you can see it's all rising now. That's just full of bubbles waiting their turn to get to the top and get out, because that's always the determining factor, because each bubble's got to burst and let forth its HHO gas. You've got two types of gases there. You've got the hydrogen and you've got the oxygen coming out, so you've got two hydrogen atoms to every oxygen atom. That's hence the name TriFuelCell. And this, as you can see, works very successfully, and it roils and boils away very, very successfully. You can see it bubbling away there like you had you were boiling water in it. This of course then would become part of a system, because clearly when you've got a reaction going on like this, you're going to have to become part of a system. And I suggest before that you talk about the systems to the office by phoning our telephone number, which is 01276 692626. This particular cell is a large cell, which I'd just like to point out, which is specifically designed for trucks. If you see the other cell next to it, you'll see it's a far smaller one. That's for the cars, and we'll place one alongside to let you see. Here is a typical car cell alongside, so you can see it's a very much smaller cell, and it's designed to fit in the smaller areas of a car engine, whereas the truck cell is far more space to be able to sit in. So a truck cell is probably worth twice as much in volume as a car cell, and so if you put 2 truck cells in, probably it's nearly worth 5 car cells in volume, and of course the amount of gas it's putting out, because it's got far bigger elements and controls, etc. So there we are. I just thought I'd show you those two, and you can see the truck cell working. The car cell works exactly the same way. Thank you very much for listening. I'll demonstrate the operation and how quickly the unit reacts. I'm going to put in the fuse now. I'll switch it on right now. You can see how quickly it's on demand immediately, and how it reacts, and how the water roils. I just pulled the plug out again, and you can see that there. Here we're going to go again. We'll try again. See how quickly that is. Look at that roiling. See how violent the reaction is. All those bubbles, that's all air and oxygen and hydrogen gas. Here's the reaction again. I'm going to put in the fuse now, and there we go. You can see how violent that reaction is. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? Well, that's all fuel for your vehicle, produced from very low energy sources. I'll switch it off. Here we are. I'm going to put in the fuse right now again. In it goes. You can see it go right now. There we go. And watch that. Now that's going on all over this large unit. Just completely roils all the time, as you can see.